Good morning, everybody, and welcome to The Cut. Day 6, I think it is. Today is Arm Day, and I got some pretty good questions here to answer, so thanks for submitting some of those. And if you have any questions for me or any kind of suggestions for my videos, I'm always willing to listen. But I'm in a cut now. I'm going to get as shredded as I can over the next 12-ish weeks. And we're keeping my calories at around 2,000. That'll make me lose 1 to 2 pounds a week. So these questions, let's go ahead and jump into those, shall we? Alrighty, so what specific goals are you targeting today? Size, definition, or endurance, and how does that influence your choice of exercises and rep ranges? That is a really good question. I would say that, we're always looking for size, definition, and endurance. Endurance is more of an athlete thing, and I'm not really an athlete. I'm more into bodybuilding, so you're always wanting size, and that's where the definition comes from, too. So the rep ranges can be anywhere between 8 to 12. Sometimes I dip a little lower, but I definitely don't want to go over 12, I'd say. It's just where I want to be, and there's a lot of research backing up the fact that that's about as close to the perfect range as you can get, right? So that's what we're aiming for right now. How are your biceps and triceps feeling after your recent back, chest, or shoulder session? Any fatigue or tightness you're carrying into today's workout? I think I'm pretty much healed up from my last few workouts. Yesterday was shoulders and abs, and I think I feel pretty good. Like, my abs not too tight, my shoulders are feeling a little better, and they actually were a little bit sore going into yesterday's session. So it's pretty good to be able to, start to feel a little better there. And I think working out my shoulders actually helped with some of that. Are you planning any new variations or techniques, supersets, drop sets, tempo work to push past plateau or bring out more detail? I've thought about doing some drop sets. That's where you lift to failure or close to failure. You take a few breaths, 5 to 10 seconds, and then you pump out a few more reps. I think that could be beneficial, and I might be doing that towards the end, maybe on some barbell curls or something. That might be pretty good, so we might try that today. What's your mindset going into today's session? Are you focused on pushing heavy, achieving a deep pump, or dialing in strict form for peak contraction? That's a solid question. I'm pretty focused. My pre-workout's flooding my blood right now. I'm ready to throw some freaking weight around, and I'm pretty excited about doing some drop sets in there now because, I wasn't really thinking about that till I read that question. So I'm thinking about pushing it pretty heavy today. I want to push some weight around. I think that's going to be the general goal of today's session. So, how are you feeling before today's lift? Any changes in your pre-workout meals, supplements, or hydration strategy based on how your arms have been responding recently? No changes. I generally like doing afternoon lifts, but I'm working in the afternoon. I did yesterday and today, so I don't really like coming first thing in the morning. It's a little bit more, not that the crowdedness is really a big issue, but it's a little bit more crowded, so it just makes it a little harder to record for you guys, and I like to record everything, so, but yeah, no, I had my rice cakes with my low sugar jelly. I had 6 eggs. I had my fish oil, my creatine, and my pre-workout, and that puts me at about 600 calories for the day, which leaves me 1,500 more, which puts me in a good position to stick to my diet. As long as I push my lunch back to about 12 or 1 and then eat my dinner around 6 or 7, I'm usually able to push through that. But yeah, not much more to talk about. It's time to get in there, lift some heavy shit, and hell yeah, let's get to it, guys. right, there you have it. Arm day is complete. And it was a heavy, heavy session. It was only 2 sets of every exercise, but I did take them to failure more often than I left any reps in reserve. So I will say that was a pretty solid pump, and I'm probably going to train like that for a while. I enjoyed it, and I did do my 30 minutes of cardio. So let's jump into these questions, shall we? Which movement gave you the most intense pump or mind-muscle connection today, and why do you think it stood out? So the biggest pump and mind-muscle connection was the heavy dumbbell curls. I started with some cable curls. Those felt really good. But when I was right in front of the mirror, and I was doing the alternating dumbbell curls with the 40s, and I was really, really pushing it, and just when I paused, I was able to push through. And I think in moments like that, I just love training like that. So I don't know why I leave 2 or 3 reps in the tank sometimes, but that was our hard session, and it felt amazing. I'd rank it right up there with some heavy squats, I would think. Did any part of your plan shift mid-workout, whether from fatigue, machine availability, or just instinct, and how did that affect the session's outcome? I definitely wanted to do some heavy dumbbell curls. I had that in there, possibly some cable curls, and it did shift. I was going to just use the normal pre-weighted barbells, but I used the easy bar and plate loaded it, and I went a little too heavy on that set, but I did turn into a drop set, so I did want to do that. But it was my first set and not my second set. But I've pushed it really hard and it felt really good. So I like the easy bar curls. So that could be something that I start doing. I like standing really close to the mirror because it's like me versus me or something, And, that was pretty cool. How would you rate your performance today in terms of strength, endurance, and focus compared to previous arm days? I'd rank it up there near the top, I think. The strength portion of it felt good because I really did push it pretty hard, I think. So just going in there and just aiming for at least 8 reps, and if I can get more, awesome. If not, whatever. The progressive overload aspect of that, just really pushing myself mentally and physically, I think that felt really good. So I'd rank it right up there with some of the best arm days I've had. What adjustments, if any, are you considering for your next arm session? Volume tweaks, new exercises, or recovery strategies? I really like this arm workout. A little bit lower reps, less volume, but intent on every set. That intent being that mind-muscle connection. That intent being trying to push myself through barriers and move some numbers, even though I'm in a cut, But I don't think I've built enough strength over time that while I'm in a cut, I think I'm still going to be able to build a little bit of strength. And once the cut is over, the sky's the limit on where my strength can go when I start bulking up a little bit. So, yeah, I don't think I'll change anything. Post-workout reflection. Do you feel today's session brought you closer to your physique goal? And what will you do post-training? Meal, rest, posing to reinforce that progress? I think it absolutely brought me closer. I think I made a bigger leap today than I have on any recent arm day as far as training arms and reaching my physique. I'm just really excited about seeing the vascularity because I've been lean before and I know what I can look like. And I put on a decent amount of muscle since I was last time I was really lean. So I'm pretty excited about that. So absolutely closer to my goals. And I was watching some Jeff Nippard videos while I was doing cardio, just based around dieting and, just trying to formulate some strategies. And, I think I got some good ideas from that. But, and I did do my pose down. I think I might start lengthening my pose down a little bit, slowing down a little bit, because I usually just get it done in a minute, maybe doing 2-3 minutes of posing or something after all my workouts. If I really do want to enter a competition one day, I think it's something I need to buckle down on, doing some research and really learn how to do it. But that's it for this arm day. Tomorrow is back day. Interesting to see what that might entail. But hope to see you guys tomorrow for that. Don't let that dreamer die. Keep the grind alive. Never give up on yourself. I'll see you guys tomorrow.